I know that you must have in one way or the other witnessed or experienced a situation or a scenario whereby something will physically happen as if they have happened before physically. As if they are the repetitions of what have physically happened before. But they are not the repetitions of what have physically happened before. They are just the physical representations of what have been shown to you before in the spiritual realm. You know, we used to transcend to the spiritual realm on daily basis, though not completely, but to some extent. For example, through the means of sleeping, through the means of maintaining stillness, through the means of meditating, and so on. And mind you that the spiritual realm is always faster than the physical realm. That's why your 10 minutes of being in that spiritual realm, you can foresee you can foresee the future of your physical realm up to about 50 years of it, just for being in the spiritual realm for 10 minutes. So we have this privilege of foreseeing our future time to time through the means of sleeping, through the means of maintaining stillness, through the means of meditating, and so on. Just that we are not that deep, we are not that spiritually rooted. We are not that deeply rooted because we haven't yet transcended completely. That's why we lose some sense of consciousness whenever we transcend up to that extent of like 60% to that spiritual realm. So most of the things that will be displayed to you, most of the things that you will experience in that spiritual realm, whenever you recover fully back to the physical realm, that if it is through the means of sleeping that you transcended, whenever you wake up, you will realize that you can only remember up to, let me just say, 10 to 15% of everything that you experienced in that spiritual realm. In most cases, they are being displayed to you in parables. In most cases, they can be displayed in some cases, though not up to the way they will display to you in that parable form. But sometimes they can be displayed to you in plain form. And those ones that have been displayed to you in plain form, they are those experience or that scenario that you usually see in the physical realm as if they have happened before in the physical realm. They are not the repetitions of what have happened before in the physical realm. Rather, they are just the physical representations of what have been shown to you before in the spiritual realm in plain forms. So we always have this privilege of foreseeing our future through the means of sleeping, through the means of maintaining stillness, through the means of meditating, and so on. This is why most people who are deeply rooted spiritually, they can tell you what will happen next, because they have this consciousness. They have enough consciousness to remember up to at least 40 to 60% of what will be displayed to them in the spiritual realm, because they are spiritually rooted. But if you are not that spiritually rooted, you can at least remember up to 5% or 10%. So whenever you experience some things physically happening as if they have happened before, it is not a repetition of what have physically happened before. Rather, they are just the physical representations of what have been shown to you before in the spiritual realm.